I am Mette Karen Petersen, a passionate hunter from Denmark. Denmark is moving towards becoming the first country in the world banning lead in hunting ammunition. It is a hot topic. That combined with my personal motivation, I've started Dedicated Lead Free, with great support from Norma. I am not trying to convince you to be lead free, but I'm trying to communicate a complex topic in a simple and educational way, so you have enough knowledge to choose whether you want to be dedicated lead free. I am sitting here with Anton Brask, who is the product manager of Norma, and I'm sitting with Jonas Hellentin, who is the brand and marketing manager at Norma. And we're sitting here because I would like to know much more about lead-free rifle ammunition. The hunting industry is constantly developing, and so is the laws, especially when it comes to the lead-free. And Denmark, where I come from, is hopefully going to be the first country in the whole world who is doing a ban to lead in rifle ammunition or in general hunting ammunition. So for the Danish hunters, it's actually extremely relevant to already now look into lead-free alternatives, because so far the law is going, or the ban is coming in 2023. So far. So my first question is actually very simple, but in general, all this lead-free talk is maybe not as simple as I think it is. And if I ask any questions which is maybe very complex, just let us know, because we want to communicate about lead-free in a simple way, even though it's not that simple. So my first question here is, what is lead-free? When we talk about, you've got two products. You got the EcoStrike and you got the EvoStrike, and these are the two lead-free bullets you have. What is lead-free? What makes them lead-free?
Well, actually, the simple answer to that is that obviously in the name lead and lead-free is that it doesn't contain lead. Which sounds very simple, but for the industry it's a pretty big thing, because lead has been the #1 material for a long time, and now we suddenly are facing a future where we need to look into other types of materials, other type of constructions, etc. So lead-free is a bundle of different types of bullets at the moment, and the industry is experimenting with different types of materials, different types of constructions, etc. So it hasn't really landed where lead-free is, but today at least most of the lead-free projectiles on the market are made of copper, and the other one we have there is made of tin.
Which one is copper?
The EcoStrike is a copper bullet, and the EvoStrike is a tin bullet.
Okay.
So it does have a little bit of different qualities, which we probably will talk about a little bit later. Yeah. But as you can see, we are experimenting. So it's as long as we had the lead bullets, it was very easy. Lead.
Okay. And when you say experimenting, we can make a conclusion that is saying that you, of course, you are experimenting, but these ones are finished products. We use it as hunters. I use it. So we have already done the experiment when it comes to these bullets, because they are good bullets. I've used both of them for a couple of years now, especially the EcoStrike. This one for a season. So we are experimenting, but it works. These ones are
it's like medicine. When it hits the market, it's been in the laboratories for quite a while. So yes.
Peter? Hello. Hi, my name is Mette. I'm very happy that you would like to show me how the EvoStrike and the EcoStrike works in the ballistic gel.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you. What is it made out of?
Vi har ju köpt ett färdigt pulver.
Ja.
Som är framtaget, det är ju en standard som vi bara blandar med vatten.
Okay.
Så det är ju färdigt liksom, som vi köper.
Okej. Is it always this gel you will shoot in, or is there other kind of gels that you can shoot in?
Nej,
Like
vi använder bara det här.
Okay.
Det,
Yeah.
Den som vi har som standard.
Yeah. It's going to be very exciting to see the fragmenting bullet, the Evo Strike, in this ballistic gel. It's not always possible to see it in the animals after a shot, from my experience. So now we can actually see how it's. Now we can see what fragmenting actually means. It's going to be very cool. And Peter just told me about how important it is that this ballistic gel are being placed the exact same place every single time, because it's not like when we are zeroing in or shooting in or testing. Everything is very strict when it comes to the barrel, which is in a locked position to make sure that every test is the exact same every time. Can we say that there is any advantages and disadvantages when it comes to lead-free rifle ammunition?
I can start a little bit. I would say, first of all, one of the reasons why lead has been the number one material for bullets is obviously, and when we're talking hunting bullets, it has some really good qualities. It expands, it's softer, so it expands upon impact and delivers energy into the animal in a good way. When you come to lead-free, suddenly you have there's a mechanical thing happening which needs velocity, which needs a certain amount of accuracy, etc., in order to work, because it's material who breaks apart or deforms, while lead is something that merely expands in a different ways depending on how you construct the bullet, which makes the lead bullet gives a little bit more margin, I would say, to a shooter. Because as you know, in a hunting situation, it's not, zero wind, the animal is standing still at the perfect distance and you're calm and,
Yeah.
but a hunting situation can look a lot different. That's where the main advantage of a lead bullet is, because it gives a little bit more margin. Lead-free has to be constructed in a way so that it does almost the same things.
Okay. So when you say that lead gives you a bit more margin, why have you made two different lead-free? I know there is also different, like the tip strike is with lead and the bond strike is with the lead. So it's of course two different bullets. But now when you have these two different lead-free, you have the Eco, you have the Evo. What is the difference on these two bullets? What does it characterize?
If we start with the Eco Strike, for example, with the green tip, it's made of, it's a monolithic copper bullet, so it's made of pure copper. And when you shoot and hit an animal, the bullet deforms. When it enters the animal, it starts to break apart, or it stays together, but it deforms into a big mushroom. Which gives it deeper penetration than, for example, if we look at the Evo Strike, with the golden tip. It's a bullet made of two tin cores, where the front core, upon impact, fragments, which means that it basically breaks apart and leaves a lot of energy early in the game.
So when you say fragmenting bullet, this is the fragmenting bullet, and this is the monolithic bullet. And fragmenting, it splits into several of parts, and this goes into the mushroom.
It does. And then the Eco Strike penetrates deeper, suitable for, if you shoot heavy games, big moose, big bear, you have big bones, you want something that penetrates.
So this one,
Eco Strike is the better choice. And if you want a lot of energy and this knockdown effect, then you can look towards the fragmenting construction.
Det bliver så sejt, det her. This is very, very cool. I know it's your everyday for me, this is just what I see on the website, and
Okay.
now I'm actually behind the website.
Yes.
So this is just to catch the bullet.
Yep.
Yeah. What is in this box? Like, if it should stop
It's,
the bullet. Is it only that?
But yeah, only this.
Okay. And it will stop the bullet actually?
Yeah, perhaps.
It will not go out on the other side here?
Maybe.
Okay, it's always a maybe. There's something to catch the bullet down there.
It will stop.
Yeah.
It will stop, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Just kidding.
It's also nice to get to know what can actually stop a bullet. It's not something that I'm testing, what will stop a bullet, but this can actually stop the bullet. I don't know why I thought that it would just go all the way, but this will of course make the bullet perform, because it's the impact, and then it's the leftovers that will go in here. Makes good sense. Yeah. I'm not testing, bullets that often in ballistic gel. Today is actually my first time. Basically, the lead-free bullet is more complex to make in the production. That's right?
Yeah. In many respects, yes.
Yeah. Does that and the materials are also more expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes down to the question that is lead-free more expensive than lead?
Not really today.
No?
No. I mean, for us at Norma, we are positioned in the premium segment already, which means that on a general level we are a little bit more expensive, but we also give back certain level of quality and consistency and accuracy, etc., etc. Which means also that it's the same with the lead-free. There is a certain point where you as a hunter don't want to spend all your money on the ammunition. So we like to keep that transition to lead-free as smooth as possible, so we're not mixing too much with the prices, etc., etc. But in the long run, people need to be aware of the differences between lead and lead-free. But if you look, for example, at the complex product like Bond Strike, it's not a simple product.
Yeah.
So it's if you compare to standard soft points, for example, on the market, it is definitely a simpler design and production process, etc. But today's modern bullets, whether it's lead-free or lead, is still a very complex process. It's still a very complex design, and in order for that to perform round after round the same way, it is expensive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't become more expensive because of the material. It's the minor thing, I would say.
Yeah. So overall, we could say no. It doesn't cost us more money to change into lead-free.
No,
at all.
the price shouldn't be the hindrance to transition into lead-free.
No. I think we start with the Echo Strike, which is the monolithic bullet, non-fragmenting. And I'm very excited to see how it actually performs in the ballistic gel. So let's see. Am I the one to do it? Okay. But you have to, Peter, correct me if I'm doing anything. I put it in here.
Absolut. Så har vi avfyrning här.
Okay, avfyr det.
Firing method is here.
Oh, I'm not getting to pull the trigger.
No, you pull the trigger from distance.
It's something very different pulling the trigger like this. It's not... Okay, you ready? Can we get that sound as a ringtone? Should we unlock or
Take out the base.
It's difficult when we only have half a rifle. Actually, maybe a third part. But the most important part, it almost feels like, you know, walking after pulling the trigger to an animal. It's like, oh, is it down, and how did it perform, and is everything okay? Peter, what is it that we can see? Like, I can see.
You can see where the bullets start to open.
Yeah.
There. And then they expand.
Yeah. And is that the tip?
Yeah, the green one is
Yeah.
the tip.
Okay.
Do you want to look for the bullet?
Yes.
Yes. Stand on this side. Start and follow the. If you feel it's a hole in the paper.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can continue to the next.
This is
So
an
you're
exciting.
gonna feel it's a little bit warm and gonna be a ball or something like this. And the bullet will be in there.
Oh, in there. Okay.
And you're gonna feel the heat of the bullet.
It's a different kind of hunting. This is one of those situations where you just really want to say, it's right here. Okay. So this is the Echo Strike that turned into the mushroom, and it's still warm. And let's see how it looks like on the computer. Is there any of these calibers that are more suitable for lead-free bullets than others?
I think on a general level, because here it becomes a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
We know that the industry needs to replace a lot of lead bullets right now, which means that we can't really work with a plan saying that some calibers are more suitable for lead-free than others. But it comes down to design, it comes down to a lot of research and development. But in the end, we will have a portfolio covering the calibers available on the market with lead-free.
Okay.
And we expect them to perform the same, so that you at least have that type of security as a consumer today. But it will go slow, because it took a lot of years developing what we had in the lead portfolio, the industry I'm talking about, and in a very short time window, even if we've been at it for many years now, it's still, we have to, it's a new game plan. It's new constructions, it's materials, etc., etc. So it will take time for the industry to catch up with the lead portfolio, but we're slowly getting there.
Yeah. Can we do it slower?
Oh yeah.
So it's actually starting to expand right there, right? Is that the missing tip already?
Yeah, I believe so. Tip is gone.
So now it starts
Now
to
you
open.
see
Yeah.
the bullets are starting to. So.
And can we also see when it comes out?
Yep.
That is very, very cool. So you can see this one that comes out.
Yep.
And this is what's happening inside the animal.
Yeah.
What is it the gel, what is it trying to pretend to be?
Det ska vara så nära liksom, materia som möjligt. Det är väl FBI som har tagit fram det här.
I think the gel is very impressive by itself.
Ja, att det
Ja.
kommer tillbaka i ursprungsformat nästan. Men det är ju viktigt att vi har ett kylskåp. Det ska hålla 4 grader. Det är samma temperatur ska det vara hela tiden.
Okej.
Samma blandning, samma temperatur.
Det ska
varje
vara
gång.
detsamma.
Ja.
Ja.
Trycker ner de här så att det hamnar i samma frågor.
Ja. Evo Strike, which game would you usually use the Evo Strike for? Can we say that?
Yeah, roe deer,
Yeah.
wild boar, fallow deers,
Yeah.
small to medium game.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Eco Strike is a bit more all round, but especially heavy or medium to heavy game.
So now we're gonna try the Evo Strike, which is a fragmenting bullet. So what I am expecting to see is the fragments in the ballistic gel. Okay. I have one question before I pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So, because everything is so settled, like stabilized, and we always place the ballistic gel the exact same place every time, will the way that the bullet expand and fragmenting be the exact same every time?
Du kanske träffar precis på samma ställe eftersom vi har 2 olika patroner.
Ja.
Det är olika,
Ja.
olika hastigheter på de här 2.
Ja,
Skulle jag tro.
god pointe.
Ja.
Ja.
Men nu gör vi en liten quick
Ja,
fix. Annars så kanske vi behöver skjuta in igen. Men det bör träffa ungefär samma.
okay. That sound. It's a cool sound.
Yeah.
It's-
It's air.
yeah.
It's air.
Let's jump on to the question I get when I did a small research, a questionnaire on in my network on Instagram. I did a little questionnaire, and almost half of the people who answered, they were already using lead-free bullets. The other half, they were not using lead-free for different reasons. But one of the reasons was that they didn't trust the bullet. So my question is, does these bullets kill the animals we shoot at?
It does. It does.
Of course it does.
And
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting thing because hunting is an activity where you want to rely on the equipment you use, obviously. So if you are starting off with a bullet, for example, even lead or lead-free, whatever it is, and you have a successful hunt, you will most probably stick with that for a long time.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the security that given that you hit the game right, it will work.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are very lethal projectiles, but for people to shift, it needs usually some sort of a push. Like in Denmark, for example, the legislation is catching up.
Yeah.
Or, for example, when you are changing your weapon system, for example, you shorten the barrel, screw on the silencer, stuff like that. When you sort of change the game a little bit,
Yeah.
then you open up to changing bullets. But most of the hunters rarely just change
No.
bullets out of their own for natural reasons.
Yes, and that's of course also when I ask, does it kill? Yes,
Yeah.
of course it kills, and I know from experience. But as we said in the beginning, you would never put a product into the market
Yes.
if it hasn't been tested
Yeah.
all the way around. So of course they kill the animals. And for a hunter's perspective, from my perspective, the most important thing when I am hunting is of course the safety, and then it's an effective kill. And after that, we can talk about the meat waste, and we can talk about lead, from my perspective. And my experience is that I get a successful hunt using both, because I've tried both. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, det kan man. It's very clear to see. Yeah. But it's very clear to see all the fragments in here. So what I'm trying to look at is like the impact in the first part here, just to see that it looks like on the Evo Strike that it's really getting this this fragmenting effect, like it goes in and expand like this immediately. And here is it true what I'm saying? Am I understanding it correctly that here, that this one explode at the same time of the impact, and here it doesn't explode the same way? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Can we say, if we talk about distance and precision, are lead-free just as precise as lead, and can we use it at the same long distance as, for example, the Bond Strike? Can we shoot the same distances?
If I go to the precision part first, I mean, these bullets are precise, really precise. However, when you shoot monolithic copper bullets, they are harder, and you have to be more keen on cleaning the rifle, because these kind of bullets leaves a little bit more copper inside the barrel, and this copper fouling is not on the long run good for precision.
Yeah.
So that's you might
clean a bit more, or a bit more often.
Yeah. But these bullets are precise, and if we jump to the long range part of the question, especially copper bullets, they need velocity in order to deform, because when they hit, they have to hit with a certain velocity, so that they get the energy to open up, and that gets that has a shorter distance than lead bullets. Yeah.
Okay.
So lead bullets, because they are softer from the beginning, they open up on a longer range.
And what is a long distance when we talk here in this example?
200 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I never just thinking, I never shoot 200 meters. Like it's not very often for me. I hunt in forest most of the time, so like 150, 175, I think that's the maximum I've shot at my own hunting ground, and that's where I hunt the most. So it is no problem for me to choose these two. So if you are maybe more of a mountain hunter and you shoot on a very long distance, Bond Strike is maybe still a bullet that you would recommend due to the velocity and the
definitely.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I said 200 meters, maybe a little bit fast. Also, it's a lot of things to take in aspect, like caliber, barrel lengths, and so on. But I mean, beyond 200 meters, you start to see a difference.
Yeah. Okay.
But generally, you can see it has a little bit of a more flat trajectory. Usually, since velocity is important for a lead-free bullet, it's usually constructed ballistically a little bit more favorably with bow tail, and it's gonna nice shape, etc., in order to keep the velocity. So usually you get a little bit more flat trajectory, and so you can shoot at long distances, but you need to be aware of it. At a certain point, it will not open up as effectively.
Okay.
So those two things you need to keep in mind. There will be probably brands in the industry who will claim that, talking about long-range hunting, etc., and the bullet itself, the projectile itself, is made so that it can, have good accuracy on longer ranges. But you need to be aware of the fact that you still need that velocity in order to have that effective kill.
Thank you very, very much for helping me out with all these questions. And I really hope that, I know you can talk day and night about the products, but I really hope that this turns out to be simple for the common hunter to understand. And I know if any hunter has any questions that we haven't covered, they are always more than welcome to contact Norma directly with their questions.
They should. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go hunting for the bullet. The leftovers. Was it here? I've got a tip. Ooh, yeah, I can feel that it's warm. Okay. This is actually awesome to see that this is really different and totally exploded. Look at the difference. So this is a fragmenting bullet, the EvoStrike. This is a monolithic bullet, the EcoStrike. It's very clear to see, like when we speak about fragmenting bullet and non-fragmenting bullet, this makes it very visual. Like I can really see what it means with these two different ones.
See, the bullets explode in the...
Wow. You can see it explodes like straight away.
From now you see. Stubben. Stubben is coming here.
The actual core is coming out now. It's amazing to see, like in such a small, like the gel. It's not very big, and within such a short time, it's just exploding, and nothing is really left when it comes out. But when that is said, the EcoStrike, even though it's not like exploding in the beginning, it also have the kill effect, like straight away. We cannot get around that something is being left in the animal and in the nature.
Så är det. Det är svårt att få tillbaka allt.
It has been an extremely exciting and educational day here at the Norma factory, together with Peter, Jonas and Anton. Now we're heading to Denmark for roebuck season, hunting with EcoStrike and EvoStrike. See you in the next episode.